Welcome to episode 110 kilos. That is episode 242. Laura is not able to make it today, but you got me. Lucky you. I want to start on kind of a serious note here. Those of you that know Greg Page, he is the logistics manager for USA Powerlifting. He's also a former member of the executive committee. He's been the Ohio State chair on and off multiple times. He was working high school nationals a few weeks ago and got rushed to the ER, and turns out he has cancer. So I wanted to mention that, and I have not been in contact with Greg personally, but there is a website, a Caring Bridge website that I will link in the episode description that you can kind of look at and get updates from Greg and his family. But as of April 11th, which was Saturday, Greg has been able to fly back from Texas to Ohio. So he is back in Ohio now at the Cleveland Clinic. And the most recent update was Monday, April 13th. And basically it said that today was a good day. He's feeling more comfortable, uh, feeling a little stronger, things like that. So definitely, I guess Greg's somebody I've known for a very long time. He was the state chair when I started competing in Ohio. Was always very helpful. We've, been on the EC together. This kind of hits hard. It kind of hits close to home, and I just want to, yeah, I guess, make it known in case people haven't heard. And I'll also say, like, somehow I didn't find out until this past Saturday, a few weeks after it happened. So anyway, a good way to keep up with Greg, and also his there's a GoFundMe that was started by Angela Simons, just to help with some of the medical bills, because obviously this came out of nowhere. So, it's definitely, if you're able to contribute financially, that would be much appreciated, I'm sure, by Greg and his family. The link to that will also be in the episode description. But just want to kind of rally the troops, I guess, so to speak, around Greg. And if you are a person that prays, definitely would appreciate the prayers as well. But yeah, anyway, Mr. Page, as I call him, I still call him Mr. Page just because he was Mr. Page when I first met him as a teenager. So anyway, just wanted to share that information for those that weren't aware, and definitely continue to keep Greg and his family in your thoughts and prayers, and would definitely appreciate that. Um, so that said, kind of moving on to collegiate nationals. Uh, and Greg even made a comment about, on his little page, just kind of follow his status there. He said he wished he was at Collegiate Nationals was it was going on, but definitely was thinking about everybody there, which is a very Greg thing to do. He's in the hospital with cancer, and he's thinking about all of his people at Collegiate Nationals. So it just kind of says a lot about him. But anyway, we will get into the Collegiate Nationals here. So the Collegiate Nationals finished with 1,203 lifters, which is a large event. And just, I guess, before we get into the details of it, some of the things that I thought were done really, really well. The social media coverage for Collegiate Nationals this year was by far the best it's ever been. Uh, there was, before the event even started, they had a post about the projected team scoring that basically listed, based on qualifying totals, who the top five teams are going to be. I thought that was really cool because it kind of built the hype, really made it exciting to kind of follow and watch. They also posted graphics featuring the top battles, like some of the tightly contested weight classes that were happening, and I thought that was super cool. And then the real-time results, I guess, was the other thing that was really nice. They posted the national champions on social media each day with graphics and images and what their lifts were, and then they also put the updated team standings after each day. So, if you weren't able to watch the lifting, if you weren't able to watch the live stream, you were able to just like quick check social media and see like the quick recap, and that was really cool. And I think there needs to be more of that in the future. And I'm not sure exactly who was doing that. I think it was Barbell Productions. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but it was. To me, that was a 10 out of 10 job. And I really hope that we can do more of that for all of our other national events and the Arnold and some of the Worlds and some of those things, because that was very top notch. All right, getting into the meet itself. There were 76 national records broken, six Hong Kong national records, five Netherlands, and 65 US national records. Five of those US national records were open records. Carlos Flores in the 60 kilo weight class, he benched 173 kilos in the equipped division. So that was an open American record. Will Eckford in the 75 kilo class, he totaled 821 as an equipped lifter. 821, just for context, is crazy for a collegiate lifter. And it's listing as an open national record, but objectively, so Wade Hooper totaled 857.5 at the 2006 men's nationals in the 75 kilo class. So even though it's showing up as an open American record or as an open national record, it technically is not. But that's not to take away from what this guy accomplished here. Because if you look at this total, this is huge. 821, that actually breaks the 820 kilo total that was held by Stephen LaHue set in 2017. But for context here, the collegiate national champion at 75 kilos totaled 821, and that was a national record total. In 2006, the same year that Wade broke the open American record total at 857.5, I broke the collegiate American record total at 712 and a half. Um, and currently Will totaled 821, this past weekend. So over 100 kilos more between the total from 2006 and the 2026 total. So 20 years later, the American record total has increased by well over 100 kilos, which is crazy. So congrats to Will for sure. I'm not trying to take anything away there by talking about Wade, but I just want to give history its due here. It did break the collegiate American record total, but Wade technically does still have the open total record, even though it doesn't say that in the database. Anyway, moving on. The other open national records, Caleb Linares in the 140 kilo class, he squatted a 418 kilo equipped squat. And Brooklyn Davis, he's actually from Georgia. He lifted in the 100 kilo class. He had a raw bench of 262 kilos. And that was actually two open American records, single lift and full power. So 262 is 577 pounds for a raw bench in a 100 kilo class. That is insane. Super crazy. All right, moving on to the top three teams. And the reason we're doing the top three teams is those are the teams that automatically qualify for the Student and University World Championships that are taking place, I believe, next month. Yeah, May 30th and 31st in Tampa, Florida. So, all right, getting into it. The equipped women's teams, the top three, they actually went as projected. Remember, we talked about the forecasted placings based on qualifying totals. It actually went as projected. Midland won with 84 points, which that actually is a perfect score. You can score seven lifters, and first place is 12 points. So 12 times seven is 84. So they actually had the lone perfect score there. Second place was Northeastern at 57 points, and third place was University of Texas at Austin with 54 points. They just beat out Texas A&M by 4 points. So those top three, Midland, Northeastern, Texas, they'll be going to the University World Cup. The equipped men, first place was Midland with 78 points. Second place was ULL, University of Louisiana at Lafayette, with 62 points. And third place was Texas A&M with 57 points. And Texas A&M just beat out UTSA by 1 point. The crazy part here is Texas A&M was projected fifth, and they worked their way all the way into third. So congrats to them. That was well coached, well deserved there. Yeah, the Raw women, Midland was the national champions with 72 points. Davenport was second with 53, and McKendree was third with 31 points. And they just beat out University of South Florida for third place by measly 2 points. And McKendree was not even projected top five. So they did a really good job as well, kind of coming out of the woodworks there, putting together a solid meet and sneaking into that top three. So congrats to them. And on the Raw men's side, the top three, they went as projected as well. First place was McKendree with 60 points. Second place was Midland with 51 points. And third place was Davenport with 33 points. Davenport beat Texas A&M for third by a single point. So the best lifters of the meet, this is pound for pound by dots. In the men's equipped division, Jackson Mabel or Maybile, yeah, anyway, Jackson from Texas A&M, Kingsville, he had a 601 dots, which is crazy huge. So congrats to him. That's a huge milestone. The best lifter in the men's raw was Denarian Ackles from Midland, and he had a 550.34 dots, just edging out Brooklyn Davis, who had a 550.2 dots. And this is one that I actually am going to comment on because everybody loves unsolicited opinions here. Brooklyn should have won best lifter. Uh, or should have put on the weight to win best lifter. He did not, so he was not the best lifter. Not taken away from Denarian, but Brooklyn lifted a whole day after Denarian and lost by 1.5 dots points. And looking back at the results, his third pull is, he could have gone another 2.5 kilos easy. Um, because he had secured the win with his second deadlift. Like he wasn't going to lose his weight class. So I'm assuming this was a coaching error here. Again, I'm speculating. I don't know. But Brooklyn lifted for the United States Military Academy, and I don't know if the coaches were looking at the best lifters. They should have been, because he had already secured the win with his second deadlift. The His other competitors were not going to knock him off. He had a substantial lead, and another 2.5 kilos on his third deadlift would have been enough. But as the story goes, that's why you show up and compete, I guess. So I don't know if it was an error on coaching staff part, or what. But to me, if you have a chance at best lifter, and again, they wouldn't know for sure because there was still a whole nother day of lifting. But for the time being, he could have moved into first place in the best lifter standings with 2.5 kilos more. So, and again, had he missed, wouldn't have cost him the national title, wouldn't have cost him team points, none of that stuff. So, to me, that was a mistake. But anyway, not to take away again from Denarian. Congratulations to Denarian and Midland winning best lifter there. The female equipped division, Jennifer Benavides from Midland. She was the best lifter with a 587 dots, which is huge. Um, in the female raw division, Madison Lewis from Jacksonville State University. She was the best lifter with a 549 dots. So all of those are mind-blowing numbers. Those are mind-blowing dots. Uh, that just shows like how competitive and 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 deep this weight class or this collegiate nationals are. 1,203 lifters. The lowest best lifter dots was in the female raw with a 549. 549. That's a lot. That's big. So anyway, congratulations to all those lifters and all the teams that placed top three. Um, Now, I'm gonna also, I'll say the most exciting lift of the meet for me. Again, I did not get to watch the live stream, but all I did, I saw the recaps on social media. That's how I got the information. I went back and researched some things after the fact. Um, but I was able to follow Collegiate Nationals from the social media, and I really am thankful for everybody that contributed to that quality social media coverage. Anyway, my lift of the meet. Liam Harmez from San Diego State. He loaded up 363 kilos on his third deadlift to move from 11th to third. Now, uh, there's a couple things here. 363 kilos is exactly 800 because if you just did 362.5. It's 799. Technically, it's not 800. So I like where his head was at there. It went with the even 800. Now there's a couple things though. He only needed 350.5 to move into third place from 11th place. So let's not, I guess, diminish the significance of this. He went from 11th to third with this pull. He put on 363, but he actually only needed 350.5, and he could have chipped that because the previous collegiate national record was 322.5. So the deadlift enthusiast in me is like, hell yeah, man, that was an 800 pull. That's awesome. The coach in me is like, that was not the right number because you could have done significantly less, still break the American record and still move into third, still secure your spot at the University Worlds. Uh, so anyway, this reminds me of Top Gun. I don't know if you guys if you guys remember the scene where Maverick and Goose are, in with everybody and Charlie comes in and starts talking about like, he was inverted in a 9G negative dive, whatever. And Charlie, her quote is, "The encounter was a victory, but I think that we've shown it as an example of what not to do." That's my first thought when I started looking at all the math on all of this. Like this particular situation was a victory because he got the 363 and the American record pulled 800 moving to third. Had he missed, there'd be, discussions or whatever. But we've shown it as an example of what not to do because mathematically he put on more than he needed. Um, but I don't think you can ever, especially because he made it. You can't question it after the fact. He made it. Had he missed it, then we can start saying, "Wow, he messed up. Should have done this." But the dude pulled 800 in 110 kilo weight class raw. Um, Props, man. Like that to me, that was the most exciting lift. And I saw the video on social media. Um, it was amazing pull. So definitely not taking anything away there. You know, the deadlift enthusiast to me is like, hell yeah, man. The coach is like, oh, I'm glad it worked, but should have been this other number. So anyway, sometimes you just put it on, load it up, and F it, roll with it, dude. Good work. So that's pretty much collegiate nationals. It was a super super big meet. Looks like everything ran really well. Crazy great lifting from a lot of people. And yeah, it was super exciting. There was a couple of things on social media I saw posted too, where the jury table had like a decibel reader and showing like what the decibel levels were. And I don't remember what they were, but basically the meter was like all the way in the red. So the lifters and the teams were definitely loud and supporting their teams. So it was super cool. Let's see. The schedule for Raw Nationals is now available. If you go to register.usapowerlifting.com, you can see what day and session that you are lifting if you are lifting at Raw Nationals. So Friday and Saturday is actually going to be 3 sessions, and then Sunday is 2 sessions. So those are going to be long days, Saturday, Sunday. But and also the meet is sold out again, so it has capped out at 1,000 lifters. So if you were hoping to register for Raw Nationals, you have missed the window again, and this was the second window. So anyway, the last little bit of information is NGB proposal. So anybody that is wanting to put in a proposal to change a bylaw or a rule, those are due today, Wednesday, April 15th. Also, happy tax day, I guess, for those of you that celebrate that. But yeah, if you are planning to do that, you can find the information at usapowerlifting.com and then the little news feed there, the link to the NGB notice. So that's pretty much all we have, kind of short and sweet, but we will be back next week with a special guest and Laura. And we'll just kind of leave it at that. Thank you all for listening. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at PL Ballads Podcast. And also check our link in our bio and join our group me. We actually have discussions about each of the episodes. If you are a powerlifting and power ballads nerd, feel free to join that and join the discussion. Thank you all for listening. We'll catch you next time. Later. And just a friendly reminder, if you are looking for science-based powerlifting programming, look no further than the Team Roar training app. You can find the link to it in the episode description, and also get 25% off of your first month using discount code, all capital, PL Ballads Podcast. Happy training.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.